revolutionary, if you considered yourself a revolutionary, then you would want to be like George in terms of his intellect, in terms of his physical stature. Because he was a complete soldier. In my eyes, he was a complete soldier. He knew how to defend himself. He knew how to articulate his ideas. He knew how to organize. And he wasn't vocal. George was a very quiet brother. He wasn't, somebody you see on a podium just espousing this and that. He wasn't like that. He quietly passed on his ideas and direction for people to go. He had a reading list. I didn't know nothing about Kant, Socrates, Plato, Spinoza, Nietzsche. It was through George that I heard about those people and started reading those people, because this was all part of a process of becoming a complete, as we've referred to, soldier. You develop the way to defend yourself. You develop a way to articulate yourself. You develop a way to think. You develop a way to organize and inspire other people, to action. And the whole thing was, look, when a lot of us, when we come into this prison systems, we came in as predators. We were preying on our community. Now, we're going to make a transformation so that when we go back to those communities, we can be an asset to those communities. We can build those communities, and that's where, his reference to Ho Chi Minh and the dragon is coming. And that's where that comes from, because Ho Chi Minh, was a teacher, and also he had been in prison. But he also said that, in one of his poems was, people who come out of prison can build up the society. When the prison gates fly open, the real dragons will fly out. Well, that's what George was talking about. The real dragons will be us, who have molded ourselves and transformed ourselves into be positive and having love for humanity, going back out there and demonstrating that love by building up our communities and being, like I said, being an asset to that community. And then when they started, like I said, when all the conflict between blacks and guards, particularly white guards, started, everybody knew when that yard scene went down, everybody in prison, and no matter what your race was, knew that the police had something to do with it. They shot those brothers down, and a lot of them they just left on that yard to bleed to death. They could probably have been saved. Except for WL, they shot, they blew his chest out. So a lot of people knew that was wrong. But you know what? The courts ruled that what happened in Soledad was justifiable homicide. And I'm not saying George and Fleet and John had anything to do with the killing of that guard. But the point is, what do you do when the law doesn't protect you from your rights being violated? And that's the way a lot of people felt. And, George felt that way too. Everybody felt that, whatever happened was the only course of action that could have been taken to demonstrate that we're not going to allow you to just kill us, without some kind of repercussions. And like I said, it's one of the things, George talks about in his book, Blood in My Eye, he talks about Frankenstein's monster. Well, the system is Dr. Frankenstein, and we are the monsters that it created. But that's no different than the system in general. I mean, America has created a lot of Frankensteins. You know, they go by different names: Noriega in Panama, Osama bin Laden. You know, now we got ISIS, and I mean, they've created a lot of monsters. You know, and we, the same thing applied to us. You know, on a micro level, they created monsters, and the result of their creations, that all the violence and conflict that erupted and took place in the prisons.
Black men born in the U.S. and fortunate enough to live past the age of 18 are conditioned to accept the inevitability of prison. For most of us, it simply looms as the next phase in the sequence of humiliations. Being born a slave in a captive society and never experiencing any objective basis for expectation and had the effect of preparing me for progressively traumatic misfortunes that led so many black men to the prison gate. I was prepared for prison. It required only minor psychic adjustments.
I begin with the idea that fascism has already taken over this country. It took over during the Depression. And all above-ground political organizations has got to proceed. I mean, anything that's effective, that's really revolutionary. I'm convinced if it's really revolutionary, because of the existence of the fascist state, there's going to be resistance to every move that we make. Consequently, it's going to take a lot of brain work, footwork, to avoid the pitfalls and traps that the fascists are going to set up for us. I'm convinced that fascism exists in this country. And if you think about it a while, you understand that one of the principal cornerstones of fascism is disguise.
This prison didn't come to exist where it does just by happenstance. Those who inhabit it and feed off its existence are historical products. The great majority of so-dead pigs are Southern migrants who do not want to work in the fields and farms of the area, and who couldn't sell cars or insurance, and who couldn't tolerate the discipline of the army. And of course, prison attracts sadists. After one concedes that racism is stamped unalterably into the present nature of America's social, political, and economic life in general. The definition of fascism is a police state where the political ascendancy is tied into and protect the interests of the upper class, characterized by militarism, racism, and imperialism, and concedes further that criminals and crime arise from material, economic, and social political causes. We can then burn all of the criminology and penology libraries and direct our attention where it will do some good.
I know now that the most damaging thing a people in a colonial situation can do is to allow their children to attend any educational facility organized by the dominant enemy culture. Dominant enemy culture.
Sé que lo más dañino que un pueblo puede hacer en una situación colonial es dejar que sus hijos y hijas atiendan un sistema educacional organizado por la cultura enemiga dominante.
What's going on, everybody? What is going on? Hope life is going all right for you on this Saturday, second day of October in the year 2021. Hello, hello, hello. From the past to the future to the present to the now. It's me. It's One Frog Nine. I'm here live right now today. It's just a little bit past 10 o'clock. We just got through another about 10 minutes worth of Releasing the Dragon, which is, if you didn't know, it's a video mixtape centered on the story, the writing, the works of George Lester Jackson, who was assassinated inside of San Quentin prison by the guards on August 21st, 1971. And I just got a phone call from a spam caller. Have you guys getting phone calls from spam callers? It's not really nice. I don't like it. I can't say that I really do like it. I want to turn this. See, I can't do any. It's really annoying. I can't do anything with my phone because this call's coming through. I can turn it off. I can turn off the screen, but I can't switch my sound or any of those. Anyway, everybody, people, welcome. Come hang out. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming through. We're gonna go in a whirlwind of all kinds of crap today. Which is exciting, which is fun and exciting. So what we're gonna do is let me go ahead and switch it on to the live side. Oh, I didn't put a link to the thing in there. Let me go ahead and put a link in there. Real quick, I'm just gonna tweet. By the way, guys, I'm on Twitter. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if that's something that interests you. If it is, come check me out. OneFrog9 at OneFrog9. And I will get a link to the show right now going over there. Let's put that down. Let's put it in all caps. I keep getting spam calls. I want to change my number. Okay. I want to change my number, okay? I like it. We're going to edit profile to show that I'm also live at this time. And I'll go ahead and turn all the sounds off of my phone. Cat Guillermo just liked my little thing. What's going on, Cat Guillermo? I think Cat does some pretty cool stuff with art in the world, like drawing and all that goodness. Live now. I want the red dot. Give me the red dot. I want a little red dot emoji. While you're sitting here waiting for me to get everything just taken off, I encourage you to check out this thing over here. It's a lot of light in here, isn't there? It's a lot of light. Really hot. I'm really hot today, y'all. It's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Red dot emoji. Emoji. Anyway, so you might have saw the prompt for art today is a robot cleaning trash on a garbage planet or some shit. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna jump into that here in a very, very short amount of time. I'm live now. Save. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for all you do, guys, for coming through. If that's what you're doing right now, much appreciate it. Well, my phone is at 37%. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. But anyway, yeah. Check out this text here. I want you to text the Abolish Slavery National Network. That's gonna send you a petition. You know, this is just like, if you're not really clear what's going on in the abolition space, this is a great way to get started. Just seeing this amendment, petition for an amendment to basically nullify the slavery language in the 13th Amendment, within which there is an exception to slavery as punishment for a crime. So that's not really how we need to be doing things moving forward, just on the general shape of, you know, being in humanity and all that goodness. I'll turn this one off, I guess. But I think it's still gonna be a little hot. But anyway, yeah, jump on here, check this out. 52886, and you're gonna send that all one word, and the exception. That's it. And the exception. Please do that right now. You know, learn about George Lester Jackson, as you know, as he was saying there, as when we watch those videos, you're gonna see people talking, and basically they're just reading his work, reading what he wrote down. You know, one of the things he was talking about: turn your eyes to doing some good. I think people really misunderstand what people who are incarcerated, who are prisoners, you misunderstand what they're capable of. And because it's like there's this whole propaganda machine just basically writing the story of who people are at this kind of macro level. I think, you know, if you're in prison, you're stigmatized, you're fucked, right? You're not good for nothing. But you know, we're trying to change that. We're trying to change that mentality to something that actually shows that, you know, people can surprise us. People can really surprise us and do pretty amazing things if we give them the opportunity, instead of just locking them up and abusing them and exploiting them and you know, getting cheap labor off of them. And then it's horrible, man. It's freaking horrible. So be an abolitionist, all right? As always, you know what I say here. I hope I hit the right button. Yes. We need an ocean. We need an ocean of abolitionists. An ocean, I say. Come be in that ocean. The water is fine. And while you're here, floating in the abolitionist waters, think about what are we doing after? All right, what are we doing after we shut down the prisons, the prison industrial slavery complex? What is our real purpose here? It's not just to fight and struggle with each other, right? It's not here just to, you know, cry and whine and complain about what the other guy or gal is doing, or non-binary pal, all right? We got to really examine, like, we have this energy. We have this energy in our bodies and our minds. Thanks, water. Thanks, ocean. We have all this potential capability that, you know, I really believe in humanity. As fucked as things might seem, I believe that all we got to do is reach for it. All we got to do is reach for it. Get here, be an abolitionist, you know, get your mind right, do some reading, do some research, get on the internet. There's plenty of things to learn. And there's plenty of organizations to support. Let me go ahead and put that in here as well. I think that's one. I forget what my commands are. That's not a command. What's going on, everybody? But yeah, so basically, we're going to jump into... why is that not working? I need to look that up real quick. I need to look at my commands, y'all. But how's your Saturday going? I hope you're doing good. And yeah, just get ready to hang out here with me here on the One Frog Night channel. Like I said, I'm all over the socials. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, just show the fuck up, man. Come on through. If you're lurking, that's all right too. We appreciate you. I need to look for the thing that says is it Nightbot? It might be Nightbot, but I need the Streamlabs and the Nightbot. I'm just looking up for a command. Is it a dash? Whoa, Frog. Hold on, man. Hold on, Frog. I got something that you need to relax. All right, Frog? You need to relax. Another thing that I thought was pretty cool for you Halo fans out there. For you Halo fans, look, I just got 117 followers. Hit that number. Again, I'm not too big on numbers, and you know, followers are people. But I was excited to see the 117. That's kind of a Halo reference. You know, if you're not really into Halo. That was, yeah, that was kind of nice. Oh, Streamlabs is the Twitch one. I need to go with Twitch. Continue. Come on, Twitch. Okay, that one's going through. Nightbot is the YouTube. I'm just trying to find my commands. Where are my commands? But yeah, like I said, we just got finished watching Releasing the Dragon. A little portion of it. It's about an hour long, so we can't watch the whole thing on the opening because we only do about 10 minutes. It's kind of a new thing. What do you guys think of that opening? The 10-minute pre-show thing. What do you guys think of that? I've been kind of just doing some different stuff, throwing that on. Usually I just jump right into it, right on top of the hour. Oh, right. Oh, I remember now. It's exclamation. Frog, come on, man. Come on, man. What are you showing up for? Exclamation. That will see. So what I was saying is like, check these organizations out, right? There's Jailhouse Lawyers Speak. These are incarcerated human rights activists, folks who are there within the prison system organizing and trying to just, turn this thing over, turn it over to a better world. And I told them, I know they can do it. We all can do it. They need our help on the outside. We need their help on the inside because we can't do this stuff alone, y'all. So jump in there. Check out Jailhouse Lawyers Speak. Check out Abolition Today. Check out the Abolish Slavery National Network. Be a daggone abolitionist because we need an ocean of y'all motherfuckers, man. A whole ocean of them. Please. Please. All right, so I got that down. All right, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to jump into the drawing portion of the show for today. We're going to draw some goodness here. Double theater, double trouble. Let's go ahead and turn that like that. What do you guys think of this? Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't even know I had audio on this side like that. Interesting. Very cool. But yeah, this is what I did yesterday. I put this up on Twitter, so like that shit. Get on my Twitter and like that shit if you want. But the prompt for this was disturbing. I was gonna do the Inktober thing, but I don't know if you guys know. Inktober is a total scam by somebody who just kind of takes people's art and he plagiarizes people's art and he uses Inktober to do it. Apparently, just from some light research on that. So I didn't get a lot of resounding interest to support the official Inktober prompts. So I used the Discord bot art prompts, and it gave me disturbing yesterday. And today we're going to do, let's go back and check it out real quick. It was over in Start. Draw a huge robot cleaning up trash on a garbage planet. All right, so that's what we're going to do. And I like it. I like drawing robots. I don't know how I feel about garbage, personally. Does this need more light? I know the angle's not ideal here, party people. I maybe get some more light over here, but y'all just gonna have to like look over my shoulder kind of here. And that's just how we're gonna do it. But okay, you're not even looking at what I'm talking about. So can you keep your eyes up here? All right. And down here too is fine. But my eyes are up here, all right, folks? So don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Cool. Some music would be nice too right now, right? That would be cool. Some like slow-fi. Even though it would probably totally kill the VOD if I did do that. And this is way too hot. Oh, because the screen. I can fix that. We can go over there. All right, a robot cleaning up a garbage planet. A robot cleaning up trash on a garbage planet. A garbage planet for garbage people. Now, is the planet large? Can we see the whole thing? Or it's probably more like a scene thing, right? Probably more like a scene where the robot, I don't even know what the robot looks like yet. I was thinking like, can it be big? Is it just a big rectangle? I'm very good at rectangular robots, and that go into the rectangular prism side of things. Oh man, I you know what? I got to get something on the page though. I just got to start, so I'm just gonna put a little dash, some dashes. That'll probably be kind of the trash here, and then I might take a little bit of the Wall-E inspiration here. That might be part of the inspiration of the word of the prompt, maybe, unbeknownst to those of us who don't really use the art prompt Discord bot. That includes me. I just started jumping into that again. But all right, let's see. But what's the robot? I guess the robot like, man, let's go ahead and give him like an edge right here. We're just starting off slow. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off so I can see if any of this actually looks good. It's looking all right. It's looking all right there. All right, we're putting that edge there. I need another another kind of face edge here. So we'll just put that one there. It's looking all right. It's looking all right. And we're going to go ahead and bring that edge. Whoa, what if he's got like an opening here on the front? Again, this is a very, very Wall-E inspired thing that I did not anticipate jumping into, honestly. Usually if I'm doing robots, they look kind of like Rosie from the Jetsons. I watched a lot of the Jetsons growing up. You know, it wasn't something I set out to do. I didn't come to this planet saying, I'm going to grow up watching the Jetsons. These things just happen, you know? These things just happen as they do. And maybe I'll just give them a big wheel here. Let's go ahead and just start that angle. Get a wheel angle there. You can kind of see it shaping up here. This is a really, really slow. I'm no Bob Ross or anything, y'all, okay? So don't be coming at me with the speed drawing. It's actually like, man, I'm glad I'm drawing more, because for a while, for many years, I was not drawing. And I was just out of town for a little while. And when you're not of town, when you're not in your regular spot, you got to find other things to do, right? And drawing kind of resurged. Surfagerists. It resurfaced in my brain. I'm gonna give him a lot of nuts and bolts here. I'll just go ahead and finish that out as a line, and there's just a lot going on here. You know, I just kind of threw some, you know, random details in there. I don't know. I'm just going for it. Let's see. Let's put that there. This guy, I don't want to totally do the Wall-E thing, but I'm gonna do my best, okay? Because he's not gonna obviously have the same goggly, googly eyes, and these subtitles hate me. They don't want to function. I don't know how people use subtitles and when they don't even function. So there is some trash in here. So we're gonna start with throwing some trash kind of inside the robot there, and it's just gonna be kind of doing something like that. And we'll just pretend like this is a kind of a open gate door thingy. And we'll just turn that down there. That down there right there. And then we'll just take this over here and do this. Okay. Oh, I didn't put the prompt. I'm going to post the prompt as well on Twitter because I can. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. Where's this? Where is this? And why? Manage. Okay, no. What I will do, I will just post the picture. Desktop. Art. I called it art because I can't art prompt. What will you draw today? What will you draw today? That's fine. Actually, you know what? I'll add prompt, art, digital, phygital, need to create. That works for me. We'll go ahead and post that. All right, send it out there, Twitter, into the Twitterverse. All right, so we got a wheel. We got some trash. I'll add a can in there because it's not trash if there's not any cans in there. That probably should have been recycled. And I'll just go ahead and add some jagged edges to that can there, and then we'll just draw some lines. Like, hey, this can has depth. This can has a lot of depth, y'all. See that there, trash? All right, and then the robot needs like maybe I'll do the rosy head because that's what I do. And maybe the robot doesn't have any arms. It's just kind of stuck with this trapdoor thing. It's a very, very sad and poorly designed robot for the task it has been given. Much like all of us, right? Am I right? Right. No, we're gonna change this planet, man. Please, we have to in this lifetime. A better world is possible. How do we get there? How do we do it? All right, so the robot's not going to have any arms. It's been decided. It's just going to be a head. I don't know. Maybe I'll just give him a random shovel. Just to really put a point on that, you know? All right, this is going to be another line going down. And we're just kind of chugging our way through. And I'll add another bunch of trash here in the background. We'll just make it really kind of like faint. Kind of round out the background a little bit, block it out. And then let's start with the robot head. We're gonna do like a diamond-shaped head because I can. Because I'm the artist here. I wear the pen. I wear the pen in this relationship. The little pen. The little pen. So there's a robot head. We're gonna give him another line over here. We're gonna come down. Look what we got. Look at what we got. Looking good, looking good. And then, you know, so the robot's not totally square. That's what we've decided. At least on the top. Because we got some shapes going on here that are kind of out of my control. It's out of my hands at this point. The robot is taken over. The robot takeover is complete. And yeah, let's go ahead and throw this line in there to kind of round them off the top. We'll just add some like Bender details. You know how Bender from Futurama always has like lines on his arms because he bends, because he does the bending. That's what that is. It's just for bending. But this head is pretty blocky, pretty large. Not really thinking it's gonna really do a lot of maybe it might. I don't know. You know, again, the bends are there. It's out of my hands. It's totally out of my hands. So I'm also drawing sideways because my tripod here. This here trusty tripod little guy right there. Tap, tap. Is, you know, this isn't the ideal setup. I would like to have it kind of up or something. I know people have mount their cameras on the ceilings. Like, man, that's a lot. I mean, I would need that. I'm just not there yet. All right, so we'll go ahead and give the robot a mouth. We're going full on Rosie the robot. I think her name's Rosie. I gotta look it up now. So she does the mouth, and then she's got like little dials for eyes. So we'll just... What do you think? Dials pointing up or down? Let's point them down. That's fine. That's fine. This is looking good. And then we'll just do another one. And then I'll show you guys. I promise I won't just put my hand here. It's, you know, we're just kind of chugging along on this. You know, I mean, I don't love those eyes. I really don't. But we'll give them some antenna. Actually, we'll kind of bend it a little bit too. Some bent antenna. And usually my robots have... They have more than one antenna. You know, they're very complex robots. They're very complex robots. And so we'll give them another, like, I don't know what this would be. I used to know. I guess it was just more antenna. It's usually how that stuff goes, right? You just load it up with antenna and spikes. And boom, you got a robot. You got yourself an official 1Frog9 robot. Some kind of spike thing up there. All right, no arms robot, picking up trash. Let's add another little plastic tray or something here to the refuse. And I'll just give it a little edge there, and then we'll just kind of do that. It's gonna be hard to represent some of this stuff once I get to the shading. Maybe I'll just add a plate. Add like a plate. You know, just some plate hanging around. Like they do, those plates. But yeah, I hope you guys had a good week. I hope you guys are going to be having a good week coming forward. I hope all your dreams and the things you're trying to manifest in this life, in this reality, you know, that they come through. and that you don't give up. I want to give up all the time, but I can't, right? I can't because then we'd all be screwed. Not because of me, but just like, I don't know, I'd be screwed. Would definitely be el fuckoed. I want to add detail. Okay, I can just do basic details. I wanted to get really deep in the tire detail. You know, like looking at tires, there's like a lot of things going on inside of tires. A lot of lines and shit. I don't know, maybe I can just add little lines. And then I don't know, maybe there's kind of some wear type texture going on that tire. And I don't know, that's just kind of what's happening right now. For now. And we'll put some more detail up top as well. I do want to take another quick shot here of this. Because why not, right? Because why not? Oh, this is disturbing. It's quite disturbing. Quite disturbing. This one's going to Instagram. I'm not a post-crazy maniac, but hey, I'm just going to do it right now. Quite disturbing art. Prompt. I totally miss physical keyboards, because with physical keyboards, there was no problem about trying to hit the right button you're trying to hit. I mean, generally, compared to touchpads. Quite disturbing. Art, prompt, pen, paper, drawing. And I'll tag a certain pirate queen. La 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 la. All right, there's that one. Drawing. Oh, I got to take the picture, actually, don't I? Post, camera, live, reels. Nope. Why can't I just take a photo? Why can't I just take... Oh, there's that right button there. You got to hit the right button. It's all about the button. Robot. I got myself a robot. Robot cleaning. Robot cleaning. I'll put 1T. Robot cleaning a trash planet. Trash planet. Robot cleaning a trash planet. Art, prompt, art. Prompte. Art, prompt, drawing. Drawing. Stuff. How many posts does stuff have? Stuffies, stuffed chicken, stuffed mushrooms, stuffed animals, stuffies. What the hell is a stuffy? Stuffs. What about 126,000? I'll jump on that. And oh, I'm gonna say I'm live right now. I'm live right now on One Frog 9, YouTube and Twitch. Drawing. Drawing a robot cleaning a trash planet. Art prompt stuffs. Okay. That's done. Let's get back to this. All right, he's got tires. He's got metal kind of cases here. We can give him some kind of chrome shiny looking thing here. And I beat it up too. Give it a little bit of wear. Cat, what are you doing down there? Get away from all those wires. Stop it. She wants to just huddle all the time. Here's the kitty. Like, no. What do you think, Cat? She wants to draw too? She's ready. She's always ready to draw. Right, Cat? Okay, go on. I know you want to sit in my lap and be all cuddly. Yes, I know. We can do that later. Go on. Be free. Be free. So I was gonna do some. I did the shading wrong on that can, so I just filled it in. It's like a multiple choice question, you know. You just gotta fill it in. All right, I want to just put some more. Maybe I'll try to do the shading right on this plate here. This plastic tray. It's not so bad. This plate here needs some shading. I'm really doing this kind of backwards. Usually do shading after you have a lot more detail, but you know, we're drawing a robot on a trash planet. So let's go ahead and push it. Push the robot. Push the robot. Push. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, I'm going to do some cross hatching for the main shadow here on the interior of the robot. And we'll just go this way with it. Everyone go this way with it. Little bit, you know, just getting it started. Looks like an Arthur cartoon at this point, right? Let's give him a little more kind of beat up texture. Not really beat up text. I don't know. I'm just shading kind of the foreground object being the robot. All right, maybe I'll thicken up the line here because we're going to need it. We're going to need that to stay distinct and loved all the way through so that people know what the hell going on there, man. Got some kind of robot with a hole in his chest. What's that hole there, man? Well, that's the trash hole, sir. That's where the trash goes. That's where the trash goes, sir. Okie dokie. Got that there. Man, I'm not digging that shading. I'll be honest. This is not my finest work, but that's why I'm doing the drawing more thing during a certain month thing. Like you do thing, you know? All right. I think if I just make the top darker and, you know, progressively darker, it'll all work out. See, drawing is great because it forces you to, you know, jump into your mind and solve problems that you created. You create the problems. Who is this? Barely Femme. What is going on? Hope life's treating you right. Welcome. I am One Frog 9, and I welcome you. I welcome you to what I'm doing here today. Yes, you know, I did talk a little bit. It does look like WALL-E. That was not the direction that I was planning on taking it. But hey, you know, sometimes these things just happen all on their own. And so the prompt here today was this. Where's that prompt? Where is that prompt? Can I hit? I gotta hit the right key. Oh, that's not the right key. That'll do it. Draw a huge robot cleaning up trash on a garbage planet. Yo, what's going on, cat? How's life? I say how's life all the time. I shouldn't. It's illegal in some places. Oh, I already went over there. I'm trying to do stuff. I'm like driving. I got a MIDI keyboard here. I got the mixer. I got the keyboard. I got the other windows, and it's just kind of all over the place. But yeah, cool cat. Glad to meet you here in the stream. Appreciate you coming through. I don't really draw that much, but I'm up here doing that. I see you draw as well, and I really dig your stuff. I like people's art that's just kind of like going for it. You know, you're just doing what you do, and you say fuck all the people. And you draw about sex and stuff. Come on. That's half the battle right there. Half the battle of fun. Let's see. All right, this guy. So the robot looks like crap, honestly, but we're just gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna add some more shading down here. I'm trying to figure out what other details I could put in the scene. Maybe like a decrepit skyscraper or something in the background. Like that might be all right. I start with a line here. you know, and that'll be kind of like a base thing. And then I can just scribble all over that line. Oh, yes, the art prompt. Yes, it is. Yeah, Discord's got all kinds of shit, man. All over the place. Uh-huh. Yeah, people can code their own bots. Which I'm no developer, but man, I would love to be a developer. I'm just going to start adding a jagged kind of line there. You see this right here? That right there is going to be a skyscraper. I know it looks like some fucked up tweezers right now, or a fucked up clip. It's going to be a skyscraper one day. I'm just going to keep it going. I'm going to put it, I could put more buildings that are less, well, maybe they're also decrepit looking buildings. And maybe I'll just put a highway there or some other line. I'm just trying to break it up, you know, so it just doesn't go straight to the mid-ground side of things. This is the mid-ground. Here's the foreground. It's kind of pushing in the mid-ground kind of in this area here. But I'm just going to keep it going. We're going to just chunk off this building here, whack a big piece of it off. Yeah, the art prompt guy, art prompt Discord, and then you can invite it to your server. And it just uses slash commands. It says, yeah. And it puts some commands down. All right, let's see this. How's this building looking? That's kind of like the top of the building, of that building there. The idea of this is supposed to be like a highway that you can't even look into. It's just a line there. Who knows? Maybe we'll never know what it is. Maybe if I could just put like this line here as like this is a cylindrical support for the highway. All right, and then I'll keep the top of the skyscraper in there just because I can. But maybe there's like a little tower or something on it, right? That tower looks like crap, but we'll go for it. We shall go for it. All right, now this is just going to be a continued messed up, burn off, tore up piece of skyscraper here. And we'll just keep taking that down. And now, see, we're getting there. We're pulling it together. We're just going to need a lot of detail in that skyscraper. And that's going to happen in the form of just a whole bunch of scribbles. No. I tricked you, didn't I? No, I know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw this here, throw that there, and we're just going to keep going down the line. Down the line, down the line, down the line. So, Kat, how you liking Clubhouse these days? You learning a lot? You learning a lot about the world and yourself? Perfection is overrated. I see the tower, so that's all that matters. Yeah, so it's kind of like we could imagine. I don't even want to imagine what I was about to say. There's going to be some stupid joke about a certain tower that a certain individual had, you know, who was president for in the past. Cat, get out of those wires. Not you, Cat. My cat. You're in the wires. You're in the wire zone, Cat. Come here. Take your butt. Go over there. All right. Tower. Tower. Yes, perfection is overrated. I agree. It's mostly all scribbles, you know? Everyone's scribbling. We're just trying to pretend we're not. I don't care if your stuff looks like finely aged wine on a stick. It's probably just it all starts with a scribble. Yeah, that Clubhouse will totally consume your... I just started getting in it back in May. And yeah, it's really easy to just let that totally consume your brain. And at the end of the day, it's just people like, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Which, hey, nothing wrong with that. Hey, ideas need to exchange and flow freely. I think that's how that stuff is... I think that's what that stuff is for, right? And I think that's great. But yeah, it will totally consume your brain. So kudos to you for the self-control there. And in general, yeah, social media, man, it's just like a beast. But lately, when I've just like turned my brain towards like trying to make this stream pop off, and trying to figure out ways to market that and do marketing, which I wasn't trained in. Yeah, social media becomes a whole nother thing where it's not just somewhere to like, for me, you know, like especially with Facebook, which I don't really use that much, but Facebook, man, Facebook is like hell in a handbasket. But I think when it comes to like trying to promote and doing all these fucking ads and giving them all your data and your demographics and all that shit, I think that's where for a business or whatever, yeah, that's good. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely have to like just cut out of some shit on the socials if it's just not working. For your headspace, that mental brain goodness that your brain likes to be in when it's happy. And when that gets tore up, you got to just say, you know what? I'm moving on. I'm moving on to something that's going to keep me all right. Because if it's not working like that, why am I doing it? Let's see what we got here. I used to be obsessed with Twitch when I was a streamer. So after that year, I think it's important to not be considered too much from one side. Consumed. Yes. Yeah, Twitch and streaming and all this, it's like there's just so much detail and the difference in how all this stuff works. Stop it. Come on. You've been fed, cat. My cat's name is Alabelle. She's been fed. She's been watered. She wants attention. She misses me. She missed me. We'll hang out later, cat, I promise. Yeah, no, yeah. And Twitch, you know, because it just depends on what you're doing and why you're doing it, right? And for me, I'm streaming because this whole channel is like a blank canvas of my design, right? That's how I see streaming. And I don't know. I want to use it as a platform to spread my stuff about my activism, abolition, and all that. And to just talk about my art, which I haven't really given a lot of space to at this level in my life, you know, at this kind of like, hey, I'm here, I'm an artist, I'm going to do art stuff and you can't stop me. And if you try to stop me, I'm just going to cry about it and keep making art. But yeah, speaking of the abolition thing, if you can, this is also a pinned tweet, so you can always find it on my Twitter if you're looking for some stuff to do with abolition. And if you're still learning, this is a great way to get started. You can text in the exception to 52886. And with that, you can help support the Abolition Amendment, which will nullify the slavery exception clause that exists in the 13th Amendment. So Amendment 28 will nullify that. I'll be honest, I'm not a big petition guy, but this is a petition I can get behind. You know, and as always, we need an ocean. We need an ocean of abolitionists coming through so we can make the world a better place. And after that, what are we doing? What in the hell are we doing after abolition? I don't know. I'm probably going to make food, play video games, make art, make love, and all that kind of goodness. Well, that thing's not on. All right. Back to this over here. This thing over here. This is what we got so far. We have a robot. I want to turn the worm in my brain. Come on, brain worms. We can do it. Is it this one? All right, cool. You guys don't know what happened, but I know what happened, and it worked. Chrome, what's going on, man? How are you doing? I see you. I hear you. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're just drawing a robot. And it's cleaning up trash. That was the prompt of the day. We kind of angle it there a little bit better. Yeah, that skyscraper turned out all right. It's nice and decrepit looking. Hey, the subtitles picked up decrepit. That's cool. But yeah, man, I'm just chilling here. I'll probably jump on some Halo or, excuse me, the Nintendo Switch. Here in a bit, play some Breath of the Wild. Cool, man. How was the gospel yesterday? How's the good word from our Lord blockchain? That is a huge pile of trash there, way in the back. If you enter something that happened near my part of the world that deals with evolution, let's do it. Let's hear it. Please slap it on us. Are you in the US? I'm going to add a little more detail, I think, to the in-between lines. How's that look? That might be kind of crappy looking. But yeah, Chrome, I'm sitting in the One Frog 9 Discord right here. If you want to jump in the mix, I'll go ahead and disable streamer mode so that I can hear you if you do decide to pop in. Oh man, that's fine. I'm just going to be sweaty at games just for the fun of it, but I'm not really like, hey, you got to be sweaty, damn it. Oh, wait. So I made a tweet yesterday. I was watching that Midnight Mass on Netflix, and it's really interesting. I think it's really cool how they're dealing with vampires and Christianity. That's kind of a spoiler there for you. But so this tweet kind of sucks, but I'm going to read it. The link between vampires and Christianity isn't always so apparent. Obviously, the cross is usually an anathema to those among the living dead. I remember a book I read long time ago where vampires were the result of disease, and everything you loved and enjoyed became a source of pain when shown to you. Recently, I started watching the Midnight Mass on Netflix, and as the episodes unfold, the revelation of the angels and the use of the blood of Christ is pretty interesting to watch. I didn't expect the little twist, but it's a fun take on the relationship between vampires and Christianity. Do you have any other observations on the use of monsters in film, modern or classic? Either or, yes and. Like zombies, they represent all kinds of fear. What does it mean to you? What does it all mean? And then I put a Eric Andre thing there. Was it? I can show it real quick. Can I? Start, man. It's just Eric Andre doing his thing. Ooh. Double theater. Window capture. George Jackson, rest his soul. Twitter. Oh, man. You guys aren't supposed to be looking at this screen. You're supposed to be looking at the other screen. Stop looking at this screen right now. Stop it. Brave. That one. All right, so that's all I did. I added that guy there. All right, anyway, somebody said a thing on chat. All right, turn this off. Go back to where we were. Blockchain gospel is good. So in this mostly white suburban school, these group of kids create a slave trade, trading their black friends with one another. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. What's this? Take this. Jump in the shower. Okay, I see that. Transform. That's fine. Black kids. And people say we don't need critical race theory. Should have mentioned the chat was on Snapchat. So you're saying that thing was unfolding on Snapchat? Yeah, that's not I don't know, man. This is why I want to be doing what I'm doing with streaming and being active in the video game space as an abolitionist, and I encourage you all to be abolitionists, to learn about George Lester Jackson, the fight, and the worldview that he was trying to cultivate in the prison system. Just because, young folks, old folks, nobody understands what the fuck is going on. They don't understand their history, unfortunately, because it's been diluted, polluted, excluded, fucked, cut in half, fried, and COVID has shown me that there's no leadership, nowhere, not anywhere, no way, no how. And that's kind of liberating, right? Because there's people with guns, and after, like Lowe says, after the money, if they can't keep the money or control us with the money, then they can control us with the bullet. Yeah, I get it. But I just maybe it's just stupidity or bold stupidity on my part. I just man, I don't want to live on this planet at this state. and I want to make it a better place. So I can do this. And you know, organizing in your community is a thing, and it's not easy. It's super hard. But that's also another thing that can be done. And I, you know, if COVID wasn't such a challenge for me, yeah, I'd be in a lot more people's faces, or at least pushing to just try to organize people a lot more. But I've just like, I don't know, I've hit a block. I've hit a block with it, and so I've transitioned my energy back into art and doing this. Streaming is a form of art for me, so that's what I'm doing. But anyway, back to the actual physical, the art here that we're looking at. We got a skyscraper. Maybe it's on fire a little bit, or some kind of smoke's coming out of it. You know, like some little thing. Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. Kids just don't get it, man, and that gets used. And yeah, fucking goofballs, all of them. That's what I have to say. They're all goofballs. They're all goofballs, and they should just go play video games and stop being goofballs. But then they go into the games and be goofballs, and you're just kind of like, man, these kids need to do better. These adults need to do better. We all need to do better. That's easy to say, right? Easier said than done. You heard it here first on the One Frog 9 channel. I'm here just saying what's up, y'all. What is going on? I will say my city has great groups fighting for citizen rights. There's one group called KC Tenants that helps the renters against the slumlords. What can I ask what state? What state are you in? Sounds like you're in the US. Talking about suburbs and all that goodness. I do not know if this is going to work. See, I added a little bit of detail here on the bottom. I don't know if that's going to scale very well. Maybe I could just not be so heavy with it as I go up. I'm going to go heavy with it a couple lines up. And then we're just going to chill as we go, as we move forward with it. Kansas, yeah, I was KC. I was like trying to rack my brain. What's KC? KC, that's something. That is something that is like in my brain. Kansas City. Cool. Yeah, I mean, and you know, the rural fight, rural communities throughout time have always been not only, you know, racist as fuck, but also like really hardcore on like workers' rights and shit. Like here in North Carolina, you know, the coal miners in Appalachia and shit getting their fucking houses blown up and shit just for wanting to like get some pay. So as backwards as the South may be, or even some parts of the Midwest, you know, it's like there's always pockets of sanity somewhere. You just sometimes you gotta dig for it. But yeah, if you can, man, and if you're not already, get involved with some folks. I mean, I was involved here with the DSA for a while. It just wasn't quite my cup of tea. But they do good work. They really do good work. And you know, maybe I'll try again. A lot of times I just got my head up my ass, y'all. I'm an angry motherfucker. And it's not on purpose. Like, I don't like being angry. I'm not violent. You know, I just get angry and shut down and, you know, try to just get to the happy place. It's taken me a long time to realize that is how I operate. I'm more likely to self-harm than actually do something external with my anger. TBH, you know? And yeah, it took a long time for me to recognize it like that. That is real. That is real inside of me. But I want to take this anger and push it out into the world, push it into my art, push it into just like as a fuel, you know? So anyway. Anywho, I ain't got no music, y'all. We're boring. This is the One Frog 9 no music stream. I have a little bit of music that we could try, actually. This one is by my good friend Larry Ann Watson, also known as Oshunyemi. Kansas City is a pretty big city, but has a history of redlining and remnants. Yeah, redlining, man. That was a national effort. That was a fucking national effort there. One of the first cities that pushed redlining, huh? Yeah, here in North Carolina, I live in Asheville or close to Asheville in Western North Carolina. Very, whoa, I can get tipped? Sorry, I just saw some on Twitter. I can get tipped. Oh, it's a thing through Brave. Holy shit, people can tip me goddamn bat. Oh, okay. Yeah, redlining. Redlining's a fuck and a half. If you haven't heard about redlining, you know, Kat, I know you get it because you tell me about it. But just in general, you know, folks, if you're watching, you haven't heard about redlining, you need to understand that in the 20s and the 30s, yeah, really the 20s, banks, the banking industry as a whole, drew up maps to basically define who is eligible for a loan. And that was based on your zip code. And that was based on, you know, whether your community was black and or brown or non-white. And, you know, so if you were white or white adjacent or white as, you know, close as you can get, then you were in the green line area type places. But if you were black or brown 9 times or 9.5 or 9.9 times out of 10, you're going to be in a red lined area, which meant that you couldn't get a loan. And that was just kind of how that was going, right? For from the 20s and on. And then in the 70s, they literally took those same maps. Why won't these subtitles cooperate? They took these same maps and then they used the redlined areas to, quote, do some urban renewal. So they push people out of their homes and destroy their homes and put up projects. It's fucked. It's fucked. It's just like, it's just not cool. It's not cool. And that's just another piece of some shit that we all have to collectively understand so that we can move on without repeating this bullshit. What else was I going to say about redlining? I had another thing to say, but I forgot. I daggone forgot. That's fine. That is okay. All right, I'm just going to do some downlines here. Kind of makes it look like stone a little bit. A lot of little details. I'm not a big swishing and swiping drawer. Yeah. But, you know, I'll go this way. I'll take these lines. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't look good. I don't know. Maybe there's a billboard or something in the back. I can put a billboard on that. Maybe that'll kind of help reinforce the highway image, the highway illusion we're going with here. I'll say the billboard says eat. 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 Yay. And then it's a guy or a gal or a non-binary pal with their mouth open. They're eating some food. Well, they're happy. Let's just say that. Let's not go and say they actually have food, all right? That would be too presumptuous. You see that little guy says eat right there. Oh man, look at that autofocus. Coming in clutch. You know the robot doesn't have a logo. Damn. What's a really fucked up lingering thing too within the city is that Kansas City doesn't control its own. Kansas City doesn't control its own police, but rather is controlled by the state. 30s, the head of the mob, it was all because in the 30s, the head of the mob was the mayor and was using the police to help. Oh, well, yeah. Nice. Nice. That's so, yeah, I don't know. Again, that anger comes up. It's just like, oh, this whole thing is obviously fucked. But then, you know, when you try to talk to people, tell people, just to like think about it, to look at it, it fries their brain. It literally fries their brain and they just like, no. Or they even admit, oh, yes, I see it. But, you know, that's just how things are. I don't like that. I don't like that rationalization of this is just how things are. It's like we have the power here, y'all. We literally have the power. Thank you. The drawing is coming out good, coming out great. Excellent. Do I have a cool sound for that? No. This is gonna be loud, isn't it?
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, I was putting on songs.
Boom, 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 boom.
I was putting on songs. Yeah, we are going to do Where's the Goat? Where's the goat? Feeding the goats.
I'm going to feed the goats.
Let's feed the goats.
Feeding the goats I am. I'm going to feed the goats. Feeding the goats I am. Feeding the goats. I am feeding the goats.
This is my friend.
Feeding the goats.
Oh, Shunyami.
Hear them call me. Feeding the goats.
Check her out. She's a fantastic artist. We're trying to figure out how to get her on NFTs so we can get paid. Please. That's all. Stay tuned for that. Check her out, Valeria Ann Watson.
Feed the goats.
On Twitter. She's awesome. She's great.
Then feed them some regular. One scoop of this. One scoop of this.
Need more detail. I need more detail. Maybe another trash mountain.
Scoop of this. 'Cause we're feeding
And another
the
little
goats,
trash mountain.
Feeding the goats. Feeding the
Another little trash mountain.
goats. There's Timmy and Uzo and our little hen, Oscar Goldman. And we're unlocking the gate. And there's Oscar Goldman right in front, waiting for us to come in and feed the goats. Feed the goats. Feed the goats. Feed them the goats.
So that song's from 5 years ago. She just had her phone, and yeah, she was feeding the goats. She was feeding the goats. Yeah, we have one goat now who is not featured in that song. At the time we had twin goats, little twin sister goats. Unfortunately, they passed away. One passed while giving birth. I think she was like a mutt goat. You know, she was like a mixed, and so I think the purebred goat we got. I think he was just the babies were too big or something. I don't know. It didn't work out. It wasn't good. And then her sister passed away a year after that, I think. So now we got Tor Storm. I don't even think I have a picture of Tor really close. I don't. Maybe somewhere deep in the internet of my stuff out there, but yeah. Yeah, so that's feeding the goats. I like this one too. It's a good one.
Put your weapons down. Put your weapons down. Put your weapons down.
The Count's in their castle. Once again, tremble. The Count's in their castles once again, tremble.
Put your weapons down. Put your weapons down.
The Count's in their castles once again, tremble. At the war they started, but know not how to end. The Count's in their castles. 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 At the war they started, but know not how to end.
Put your weapons down.
Yeah, that goes on for about 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, she's great. I love her so. I forget how we even made that. I know I was using Caustic 3. Caustic 3 is a great Caustic 3 is a fantastic little free app. You can pay for it, which, you know, but you can also get the full version for free on Windows 10. But if you want the full version on your phone, you got to pay like a couple bucks, which I haven't done. I use it on Windows 10 and the phone. The free version on the phone works too. Caustic 3, super, super powerful music app. It's all MIDI music, but hey, music, man. When you need it, it works. Oh boy. I'm getting here. So Kat, you used to stream. What'd you stream about? What'd you do on your stream? Or were you just a Twitch watcher? Were you a conversation chat lurker watcher person? I am El Curioso. All right, cool. So we're gonna just add another thicker line here.
Grow your own food. Teach your children well. Eat sitting down together for a home-cooked meal. Share with your neighbors. Love yourself and all of.
Stream art and play shitty online games. Excellent. Sundays I read fan fiction. That's cool. That's cool. I'm still hammering out what the hell I'm doing. But yeah, because the activism thing is kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I'm mixing oil and water with video games and that, but I'm just gonna keep trying because it makes me happy. Meeting like-minded, you know, I think it's a good way to meet like-minded folks. Even if we don't play the same games or even play games or whatever, it's like if we can just harmonize, synchronize on the abolitionist shit, then that's half the battle, as I say every now and then.
Set the captives free. Set your captives free. Set the captives free.
Cool. So I think David's going to pop on here in a bit after Mr. Chrome there, after he gets through his morning routine and all that goodness. And he had some art to show us as well, some photography. He said he went... What the hell? Bong Iguana. I'm not going to listen to that. As funny as that sounded. Just keep doing it as long as it makes you happy the moment. Yeah, no, that's, yeah, definitely. I don't want to get stuck playing like one game or doing just one thing. This is like I said, a blank canvas. This is art, performance art. And yeah, that's number one, is just focusing on being my authentic self. And just creating, using the space to elevate shit, elevate messages, share information. The thing I haven't quite figured, like, and it kind of goes to YouTube as well, but streaming and making videos for YouTube are like two different things. I mean, you can use one to do the other. Like, you know, you can stream, and obviously I'm streaming now to YouTube. This is going to be up there. So as I'm streaming, I'm trying to just be conscious of just keeping the flow going. So that if somebody does find the VOD after the fact, there's some kind of like continuity going through the whole thing. And it's not just me sitting here quietly staring at Halo or something. Chrome, what's going on, man? What's going on? Oh, dude, I'm really, I don't know what textures to put right here. I don't know I don't know how to approach the texture. It's getting too dark right here. It's too much. It's sucking in all of the light is getting sucked into this point right there in the skyscraper. Even in a drawing, the skyscraper is still just stealing all the energy, huh? I see how it goes. I see how it goes. You know, for a texture for the inside of the robot here, this kind of all this trash here, I'm thinking of like the Rugrats or something. Yo, what's up, man? Let me check the levels here, make sure you're in them.
To cut you off.
How dare you? How dare you? Broad strokes.
Running on my iPhone too, and it's like 20 seconds behind, so it's just kind of
Yeah. How's the sleeping, man? Does the sleeping do all right for you?
It's pretty good, yeah. I think I'm recharged, ready to go.
Cool, man.
Yeah, the blockchain gospel was interesting. It was mostly just shooting the shit, and Lowe realizing he really needed to start recording this and setting up a podcast because he's got this hip hop legend in his own right, Money B. I don't know if you're familiar with Money B from
No.
Digital Underground.
No.
Are you familiar with Digital Underground?
No.
So Digital Underground was the first hip hop group that Tupac Shakur was ever a part of.
Okay.
And they had a track that made it onto the Billboard charts called the Humpty Hump.
Okay.
And I think they had some other tracks too. Like he was big time, you know.
Yeah,
And
I've heard of Tupac.
he loves hanging out. He loves hanging out in the blockchain gospel, man.
Oh,
Money B
really?
is he's always hanging out there. So he told Lowe that he was talking to one of his Hollywood dudes. You know, he knows a lot of A-listers and a lot of like people who can like put shows on and like help podcasts get big and stuff.
Excellent.
And so he was telling him, he basically told Lowe, like, if he had a podcast already, he probably would have already got him like a connect and like, you know.
Yeah.
So Lowe was like, damn.
Scrambling to get that shit together. Yeah, man.
So we were all just talking about using OBS and Streamlabs OBS and getting everything set up.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Yeah. I mean, that's what's definitely exciting about this NFT community. It's just all the connections that we're all coming into. I mean, you know, I you know, kudos to Lowe, man, and get that shit out there and do it. It's just cool to see people doing that, and I hope I hope we all find our own way to hit that money, man.
Yeah, and he's putting in the work, you know, and that comes back
definitely.
to that concept. Dang, I can't remember who the writer was, but it's one of these prolific economic writers. And he was saying how just go above and beyond, you know, and like abundance, and, you know, you will get rewarded for it, even if the people you're doing it for in that moment don't, you know, necessarily compensate you properly.
Right.
If you're going above and beyond consistently, eventually all of that work will pay off. And I think with Lowe, I think he's on the precipice of like pulling it all together.
Yeah, man. He you know, he seems to,
because he's been putting in a lot of work, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's already paying off for him. From what I hear, he's like, you know, he's doing NFT consulting and he's doing other stuff. And so it's good, you know.
No, he's really hit it. I mean, I don't know him very well, but you know, yeah, we see him. You see him being active, and he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
For sure.
And he's good at holding the space. So yeah, that's great. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm I don't know. I'm kind of like culturally not there most of the time on shit with like hip hop and shit like that. I mean, I enjoy it, but I just like, I don't know. It's just not really stuff I know a lot about. I know who Tupac is, and Valeria Watson here, my partner, she's here. She was the one that was playing her music just here a second ago. But she knows who Digital Underground is. She understands what's happening with all that goodness. But that's great, man. Yeah, dude, really. It's cool as hell.
Yeah, so I'm kind of along for the ride on that one, but I love the culture. I love hip hop. I love listening to these like old heads, as some people would call them, you know. They're kind of like 90s style OG hip hop heads, and they just like breaking into this blockchain revolution, and they're just dropping bombs. It's awesome. Yeah. Lots of good knowledge, good value being shared, you know?
Yeah, it's you know, I've been usually I stay up late, but I was up late last night, but
Yeah,
I
no, it is what it is. Hey,
yeah.
with the voice channel in your Discord, do you want to set up like a text channel for the chat, and I could just send you a link, or I guess I could just put it in the main chat. But
Here, I'll just do it. Text. VC text. Create.
yeah,
And it is done.
there we are. And I'm gonna put my new collection reconciliation series in here.
All right, let's check it out. Double theater. No, I'm gonna go to main. No, you guys aren't supposed to be. Stop looking at that. All of you. Stop looking at those transitions. Those are not proper transitions. All right? Y'all think you can just come around staring behind the curtain. I will not allow it. Main. Find the link in Discord. OpenSea. Copy. Let's throw this down over here, right? Drop that. Go there. Switch back over here. Shoot a frog real quick. And then, what was the other thing? I'm going to look for. So apparently he wore a fake nose. I'm seeing somebody wore a fake nose.
Underground, yeah, he was famous for that. Yeah, Money Beat. Yeah, actually, on his Clubhouse profile, he has a drawing, like someone drew a picture of him with his fake nose on.
Okay.
He uses that. He uses that as his Clubhouse profile too.
Reconciliation series. Window capture is on. And now you guys, that wasn't right, but that'll work. You know, I'll do it. That wasn't the clean transition I wanted, but hey, I'm a little rusty. All right, reconciliation series. So tell us about, first of all, introduce yourself, my friend. You just popped in here all willy-nilly, which is A-okay. Tell us who you are, man.
Well, my name's David Karoma, and I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And I have a communications background, but I've also been an art collector in real life, amateur, just starting. I had like two, nice pieces, and I was planning on buying more, but then NFTs came along, and I was fascinated with just like the digital space. And I've always been a gamer, and I've always understood kind of the value of the digital space. And I think with NFTs and blockchain technology now, there's a whole new layer of value in the digital space that takes it to a whole new level of reality, where you really own, this digital property, you really own these assets, and it's immutable, and you'll own them forever. So with that understanding and the metaverse, as it was broken down for me on Clubhouse many times in these amazing rooms that I was listening to in NFTS.tips, the metaverse is just such an interesting escape. And even though it's not quite there technically yet, just the ability to own that land is already there. And I think it's going to become more and more popular. And so we're at just the precipice of this interesting movement, right? And so with that, I've also been involved in politics locally. And so when you were coming into the Clubhouse rooms and talking about abolition, I definitely was resonating with that like hard. And then just social justice in general, like here in Manitoba, and generally across Canada, our biggest issue along racial social justice lines is the treatment of Indigenous people and First Nations people, and the way we've taken their land and not compensated them properly, and not set up proper schooling, proper healthcare infrastructure, basically complete neglect of the areas where many of them were pushed to. And then on top of that, we were trying to brainwash their children through a residential school system that essentially robbed children from their parents on these reserves across Canada and took them into boarding schools for months and years at a time. And in these boarding schools, half the time, they were not even learning what they should be learning. They were basically laborers. And there was a lot of abuse and sexual abuse and death and horrible things that happened. And that's just on residential schools. So the whole colonial history is kind of messy, and a lot of Canadians don't like to talk about it because we've done well in a lot of areas, and we just acknowledge the shared past. And too many people fool themselves and act like it's not currently impacting the present, and like people don't still have a similar mindset that allowed all of that catastrophe to occur.
Yeah, I mean, talking to some of my family, I kind of hit that same wall where maybe they can even see some of the problems, but it's just too much. It's too either traumatic or it's just too overwhelming to even just try to start wrapping around, like, how do we start just not feeding into this? So yeah, I'm grateful to meet you, man, and build some connections. And yeah, I mean, I haven't done a lot of research in the charter, not charter, the boarding schools and stuff, either in Canada or even in the US. But honestly, I don't really do a lot of reading. Most of my reading's on the internet, just kept keeping up with social media or doing more research or whatever. But I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, not that I'm opposed to learning the details, but when there's books out there that they would call Kill the Indian, Save the Man, or something like that, or I'd hear things like the nutritional guide that the US uses. First of all, Canada used I'd heard that, like, Canada used their boarding school program. They learned to implement it the way they did through watching how the US dealt with the indigenous Native American peoples. So it always ties back to the US in that regard. But another thing I'd heard is that we based our nutritional facts.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, in many ways, Canada was not quite as brutal, just explicitly, as America was. America really just killed a lot of Native people, is what it comes down to. Like, a lot more, I would say, compared to Canada. But it's like
And
still
at the end of the day,
horrible.
it's not really a colonial Olympics or a suffering Olympics, right?
Exactly,
Like everybody's complicit in these things.
And the complicity in Canada is so much more. I don't know. It's very like I talk about the generational trauma and the fact that what I've seen and what I've become painfully aware of is just the way it's all connected to even like the majority of foster children, the majority of kids in the system here in my city. They all tie back to some family members that were forced to go to residential schools, some family members with trauma, So it's like there's a lot of reverberations. And I think Canada as a whole is, to our credit, many people are starting to understand this. And like, so I think there is a new understanding, that's starting.
Well,
but with that in mind,
younger generations,
that's why
we're just pushing.
Yeah, that's all we can do, really. But well, I mean, there is more we can do, and that's
Definitely
trying to just speak out and like continue to push for politics that's better, and push for good people to run, even if the party that they're running in is crap. If you know the person is a good person and they actually pull it off, then you should support that person, That's the way I look at it. And I'm very pragmatic when it comes to politics. I don't like to like overly demonize the whole system because I think that it's the only true vehicle to ensure that we do, even if it is incremental, like push in the right direction, because as we've seen, everything can just fall to shit and fascism, and it can be the same, same old story very quickly. So
and but all we can do is just push each other to just push wherever we can. And so yeah, man, like so you're saying recently you were at a a rally or something.
On Canada Day, I was not there at the time that the big protest happened. I live nearby, and but I wasn't downtown at the time, so I wasn't able to attend and see it live. But I walked down there after, and so I basically was taking pictures of the aftermath. And it was a very dramatic day where they yanked down a statue of Queen Victoria. It's a very colonial statue, of her with holding the world and just sitting there with her big throne. And apparently they're going to put it back up, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully nobody vandalizes it again, but I would politically support anybody who supported removing it through legal means. So I took a picture. The one you see with the red hands there is the actual spot where Queen Victoria was sitting there before. And I just thought it was profound because when they took her down, they put these little teepees on top of the pedestal.
Oh, okay.
And obviously they slapped these red hands all over. And these were like so many protesters, right? And you could just like see the pain in it, you know, and they have the sign there. And I like the way that the golden boy, you know, it's almost like he's just looking down approvingly, you know? He's just like, yeah, like, you know,
in the background
instead of the queen
dome.
there, like if the queen was right there, right, I wouldn't have been able to see the golden boy from that angle, you know?
Oh, yeah, at the top of the dome, I see.
Yeah, at the top, right? So I liked the kind of philosophy behind it, or, you know, the symbolism behind it, which is to say, like, we should have our own icons here. We don't need this, like, queen, you know? So anyway, basically, I'm not a monarchist, and Canada is a monarchy, unfortunately. We still recognize the monarchy, and we are essentially a monarchist nation. So, and I'm not sure that that will ever change, and I don't know if that's even a political hill to die on, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't, I agree. I support the symbolism of taking down those statues. I obviously don't condone vandalism as well. So, you know, I wrote a little bit of just a spiel in the descriptions for each of these pieces, but essentially what it is, more so than anything, is a time capsule, because it was the first day for truth and reconciliation, the first national day for truth and reconciliation with Indigenous people ever. And so I was like, okay, well, on that day, I'm going to mint a few of my pictures from that historic day when there was a protest and they ripped down the statue of the Queen. And they were all feeling a lot of pain because, oh yeah, I didn't even say this yet. Basically, the reason they were feeling pain is because they found a whole bunch of mass graves of these children who died at residential schools. And so there was a lot of anger, palpable, you know, anger. And there's actually a link to the video in the two pictures that are from that day. And you can see the actual event happening, and the energy and everything that came along with that. So in the description, you can see the link to the video there. Yeah, so I just basically did it
in all of them, or the first one?
The two, the Children Over Queen and the Every Child Matters. I haven't listed Every Child Matters yet because I was thinking of sending it to a certain icon of mine, but we'll see.
Video. Here's
and then this Louie Riel statue
cool.
Yeah. And the other thing is, if I do sell any of this, 50% of proceeds will be going to United Way Winnipeg for Indigenous-led community organizations. And it'll be a really cool historic donation too, because they've never had any donations from an NFT campaign or anything.
So you already kind of hit them up, or you've been connecting with them on that?
Well, I'm familiar. Like, I've just talked to somebody who's kind of like on a board with them, but I haven't actually officially reached out to them in any capacity, you know?
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Yeah, we're looking at the video being toppled now. The video of the toppling. They covered in red paint.
And that was another statue too of Queen Elizabeth as well, when the smaller one. So there were two statues that got pulled over, actually.
Yeah, man. You know, we got a lot of work to do. And like when I'm talking to my dad, I love him. Hey, Dad, if you're watching, love you. But man, we going back and forth all the time. And he's just committed to like what he's doing. And not that he's doing anything wrong, but it's like his attitude towards these issues, his attitude towards these problems. It's just not his problem. And it's just not really. And again, I'm not looking to just like have conversations about this stuff. I'm just trying to like network and organize with people in my life that have an interest in going beyond the conversations. So yeah, it's but you know, he's just like, oh, I'm just here to, basically it's just like, I'm here, I exist, and I'm just gonna, you know, get old and die, and I'm just gonna do what I'm doing until then. And it's just like, I feel like my generation and those of us who are aligned with this is like, we're cleaning up y'all's mess, man. Like you guys could help, like, but they're not for it. So anyway, I don't know. That's my soapbox for that. But yeah, dude, I think you know, keep doing what you're doing, keep up the photography, and keep showing up. It's good stuff.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the photography is pretty decent, right? So like, I thought it was cool. Just like it's almost, yeah, it's cool. It speaks to me in very historic sense, you know. And I'm hoping that that'll resonate with somebody at some point, and I can make a donation. And then Louie Riel is an icon of mine in the political sense. Another example of someone who is definitely, he literally fought against the system and got hanged by the state, but he was also an elected representative in the Manitoba legislature. He was also, you know, he also engaged in politics. So that's just an example of a righteous freedom fighter. And that's the picture that's going for 0.111 right now.
What's going on? Let's see. Barely Femme says, I think we've been too complicit. Been complicit too long and not helping out when it's not our problem. Because the problem will become eventually everyone's problem. Exactly. And like the liberation of the most oppressed is all our liberation. And I see you had some goat love there. I'm trying to scroll here. She says it's weird Canada still uses imagery of the Queen. Michael, what are you doing, dude? Hi, I think it's not right to crush the statues of famous historical people. It's my opinion. Michael, you're always welcome here, man. Even if you're wrong.
No, I think it's not right to do vandalism. I agree. So that's why even if you look at the actual minting that I with the two that have that video, I actually state in the line before where I share the video, while I do not condone vandalism, I also do not support the monarchy. So I'm saying like I don't agree. I also agree that it shouldn't be ripped down that way. But in a sense, you know, for the dramatic historical kind of significance that was at play that day, you know, finding these massive graves of children. So that's dead children, you know? And that's why I called this one Children Over Queen, because that's essentially the narrative was a bunch of people clutching pearls over how dare you do this to our statue of the Queen, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, is she a significant historical figure? Sure, she is. But she oversaw a whole lot of oppression and tyranny, essentially, and robbery of indigenous places, not just in North America, but even in Africa and India, frankly. So Queen Victoria, you know, it is what it is. And I don't think that that is the type of icon that we need to be celebrating on the grounds of our government buildings. And that's just my opinion. And there's a lot of people who like Queen Victoria, and they'll say, oh, well, she actually fought for indigenous rights, and she actually made sure that the government, you know, negotiated honestly with indigenous people. And that's where I just say that's just like the good cop, bad cop regime of the, you know, colonial system, which is, you know, the local government's always more harsh than the Queen. And the Queen comes in and says, okay, we must, you know, be amicable and find a solution, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, who gets robbed, you know? In the end, who's overrepresented in the prison system, you know? Who's overrepresented in the foster care system with their children being stolen from them still to this day, you know? So
yeah, I guess. Yeah. No, I mean,
vandalism is bad, yes. But you know what's worse?
Yeah.
All of this shit.
That's pretty much where I'm at. I'm like, you
So
know,
that's why I call
vandalism
it
ain't
Children Over
great.
Queen, because the issue of the children is much more important than the issue of the Queen. And that's why I called the piece Children Over Queen. So
no, I think
that's
no, it's a valid point. And yeah, I mean, okay, on paper, I'm gonna agree. Like, vandalism is bad, and you know, I'm certainly not looking to go out and like destroy everything, but it just like in the context of the greater conversation, like the property just doesn't matter. Like for the public property and statutes like that, it's not the issue. And but if people are going to take it down, like I'm not going to stop people from doing that. Like right here and where we live, there's a Confederate monument.
No one was stopping them. There were literally police. I'm pretty sure there was at least 1 or 2 police officers like right there. It was a massive protest.
Right,
and they didn't even stop them. They didn't even go in and stop them. They were just like, all right, well.
Yeah, but like here in North Carolina, like we have like a large Confederate monument. It's just an obelisk. It's like 50 feet, 60 feet maybe or more tall, and it's just right in the center of town. And it marks It's named after the guy that started the KKK around here, Vance. He was actually a governor, I think, or a mayor or something, Zebulon Vance. And so this is called the Vance Monument, and it was also marks the spot where slaves were sold. So if we had our way, yeah, we would destroy it, we would get rid of it and not really have a word about it. But because there's so much pushback, and even actually it's been fully pretty much dismantled except the base, which is still like 6 feet. But then like a lawsuit came through, or a judge basically said like we can't even remove stones from so it's all the stones are there or whatever, but there's just been a pushback against all that legally. So I think eventually his birthplace is like a historical site. It's like 30 minutes away. I think they're gonna move it over there or something, or put it in another museum or something. Like, so like fine, if people want to preserve history or all that bullshit, like whatever, like go take that and go take your shit and go do that. But it just it just becomes the vandalism thing, I feel like, becomes a dog whistle for like derailing the conversation from the actual issue. And then because the actual issue just doesn't even get pushed, even incrementally, or if it is being incrementally, it's never actually hitting the nexus, the nerve center of where white supremacy actually functions. And then it's just like, well, the people are just going to go out there and do that shit. So like, yeah, I get it. The law and civility and vandalism, but yeah, dude, it's such a complicated thing. I got some chats here. Hang tight. I just want to see what people are throwing down. So yeah, my friend Michael, he's in Russia, so he's many hours ahead of us. What is up, man? Pirate Queen, that's also Valeria Watson or Oceaniemi. Pirate Queen, what is up? She says, smash the royals. Vandalism is bad. Murder and genocide is worse. Barely Femme in Kansas City says the stealing of children is only getting worse now, especially since so many people stopped having babies last year, and now CPS is going to hospitals, taking kids out of so many BIPOC families. Fuck that. It is gone. We did ceremony to get it gone. Yes, we did, Pirate Queen. We've been together almost 9 years now, over 9 years, and we've done many ceremonies down around that. Just again, performance art with ritual and ceremony. She's very she brings a lot of heat in the spiritual and ceremony department. I'm just an acolyte, a cog in the wheel type, cog in the machine type. David, you heard me say that many times.
Ceremonies to tear down the monarchy. Is that what you're saying?
To fucking tear all this shit down, and to tear down that monument. And eventually they have taken it down now after many fights and committees. Yeah. Michael says
you were out on the streets for that.
Well, just over the years, we've gone and organized little groups to go and do circles around it, and we do calls and stuff. Like she does decrees, it's just like a stanza. It's just like a line of, because it's part of the science of the spoken word, and the idea behind that is that the words we speak, the words we think, the words that we imbue in our consciousness, it creates our reality. And so the stuff that she's done in her life and learned about all this, like she takes it to a whole nother level where it's really dealing with your core consciousness, the core, like the flame inside of you, to call it to transmute our karma, all this stuff. Decrees, man, like the violet flame. It's really short. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity of source desire. And hey, I went to church. I was raised Christian kind of, but I'm like, fuck all that, but I've come to realize like there's a real spiritual relationship we can have with ourselves, with the universe. And it takes some real serious cultivation. Not that, I'm anywhere near an expert in any of that, but I've seen the impacts of it in my life and in myself. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah. See, Michael says there are many pluses and minuses of the colony system. Europe gave civilization to Africa. Michael, I love you. You're wrong. Look to the Africa. The most beautiful place in Africa are empire colonial. Sorry for my English. Michael, first of all, you don't have to be sorry for your English. Your English is better than my Russian. And also, that's a huge fallacy. Africa gave civilization, and the many cultures and tribes and civilizations in Africa brought science, medicine, math, Like, really, man, where do you think the Greeks and the Egyptians, where do you think they got all of their shit from? It wasn't from Europe.
South of the Nile, it all started.
Major,
Everything comes
major
from Africa.
pushback, Michael. You gotta keep
Everything
coming back,
comes from
Michael.
Africa. And that colonial mindset that came into Africa has destroyed Africa. It has robbed Africa
Exactly.
of its resources. It has not been a net positive to Africa at
No.
all whatsoever. European colonialism was a cancer to the African continent. And Africa actually is the only continent that successfully pushed those fuckers out, except for in South Africa. They
And
pushed
Ghana
all
right
of the
now,
Europeans out. Like,
Ghana, they shut
you think
the
North American indigenous people don't wish they could have done that? Fuck. They wish they had the freedom Africans have today. And Africa is still freaking hurting from the colonial relationships because they're chasing this capitalistic bullshit instead of chasing true freedom and happiness, you know? And one day they're going to learn soon. And especially with the blockchain technology, it's all a revolution, you know? There's new avenues of wealth being created, new markets that are not gate kept by a bunch of old white men. And so the revolution is upon us. And that's what the NFTs are about. That's what the blockchain's about. And that's what we're going to be doing.
This is
in the next several months and years to come.
The blockchain is just going to make citizen diplomacy so much easier, because that's what we're doing right now, right? We got people in Kansas, we got people in Canada, we got people in Russia right now. We're all here, and we're just trying to figure out what the fuck. And Michael, man, we've hung out, we've played games. Michael loves Halo. We're on the same level, and that's half the battle, right? Half the battle is the phrase of the day. I keep saying that shit, but it's true. And Michael, man, you got a lot of fact checking to do, my friend.
Framing of history, you know, it's a
Yeah.
framing of history that the idea that all this colonial stuff was actually a blessing. And don't get me wrong, there are Africans who believe that. Many Africans who believe that. So I'm not saying that he's like, you know, way off base. There are a lot of people who believe that. But after many years of research, many years of understanding my own history as a Sierra Leonean with West African roots, and also a European on my mother's side, Dutch roots. So I have my own multicultural background, and I understand both very well and very deeply. And I understand the cultural significance and historical significance that comes out of the African continent before colonialism, including the richest man to ever exist on the face of the earth, Mansa Musa, who had the most gold ever taken together by any single human.
Well, and again, Michael, to push back on the, you know, Europe bringing this civility, you know, when the colonists came to North America and couldn't really even survive those first couple winters, what they came into and what they called the wild lands, the forests and all this, you know, they had all these words for it. But the reality is that the native population already present here on North America, Turtle Island, basically they had cultivated the natural world around them to provide food and all the resources that they needed. Literally, the colonists could actually drive their large wagons like through the forest, because large pathways have been designed and grown and cultivated. And then so when our ancestors showed up here, they totally just monocultured, fucked up the whole situation. And, you know, like it's like the whole natural food system that was available was just completely destroyed. So I contend that, you know, the colonizing system has done nothing but just really tear up the natural order of humanity in the pursuit of slavery and private property and private gain, which, you know,
under the guise of capitalism. And the thing is, I actually like the innovative side of what capitalism represents, but I just believe that there needs to be some level of regulation, and honest regulation, you know, not government overreach and what can eventually lead to autocracy, which is what you get in China and Russia, where they basically don't have a real democracy, and so they don't have representative government and the ability to innovate through electing progressive, forward-thinking leadership, you know, which is how America has stayed agile, and people don't like to acknowledge it, and they just want to shit on the whole system. but we have to be politically active and engaged and always trying to get our own like people in there. But if we can't, we need to push the people that are in there. And I still believe in voting no matter what, even if the options are shitty. But
Yeah.
you know, we can debate that too.
And we
Another
got to do
issue.
more
But
than
I just
vote.
think that, you know, the battle is between freedom and autocracy, right? That's the real battle. And you know, we lose sight of that because racism and social injustice and all of these things, slavery in the prison systems, they're all easy things to like just be really pissed off about that one individual issue, but they
Right.
all stem from a systemic oppression
Desire.
that has been approved by the populace. And until we start actively disapproving of it, it will continue
Well, and
unabated.
beyond that,
That's why
but in
children,
like
like,
a
I don't know who it was in your chat talking about BIPOC children being stolen, but that is absolutely accurate. And
Yeah.
here in Manitoba, Canada, there are over 11,000 children in child and foster services, child and family services in one province of like, I don't know how many people we have, like not even 1.5 million people. And there's 11,000 children, and 80% of them, or over 80% of them, are Indigenous. So First Nations children. So instead of taking their children for the residential schools where they were abused, they take them and put them in, you know, families that basically, not all of them, but a lot of them use them as a paycheck, you know? And in some cases, the worst cases, they're abused, you know?
Well, and even
So
beyond, I mean,
that's
just
the foster care system. And a lot of the
yeah, I mean,
time,
just touching on what you're
their
saying real
parents are
quick.
good parents. A lot of the time, it's like one shitty thing that happened, or even
Right.
worse, they were in the system, and because they were in the system, their kids get taken. It's like the most ridiculous thing ever.
Well, yeah,
So
and
it's
just
a
to
whole
touch on that,
system
right?
of
So even
state-sponsored
beyond just
slavery is
like
what it is, basically.
yeah, even beyond just like you know, the implied of indigenous adopted children, just any adopted child in this system, right? So that they take the child away from its family, and then they give money to the adoptive family. It's like, why is there money available, right, on that end and not the first end, where it would probably do a lot more good for everybody involved at that point? But
Yeah, in the worst cases, don't get me wrong, there's scenarios where parents
definitely.
are just abusive, horrible drunks and like whatever, drug addicts or whatever. And in those scenarios, almost all the time, there is some family member or some community member that
Right.
would probably do a better job than an arbitrary, you know,
Right.
family in the city. And in Canada, like in Winnipeg, like there are a lot of very good foster parents. I'm not going to lie, but the whole system is messed up. So you don't
Yeah.
even know like a lot of the history behind
Well,
the child that you're taking in, right? So you
right.
don't,
Yeah.
you might know who their parent is, but you don't know how justified the situation is. And like in the end, you just want to help a kid a lot of the times, the foster parents.
Yeah.
And then there are those asshole foster parents who really
Who
do
just
just want
like
a
collect
paycheck, you
children.
know?
No,
Yeah.
but so and yeah, I you know, I agree. Like we got to vote, but we got to do more than vote as well, and get organized with those who are close to us as best as we can, and beyond just like showing our disapproval for this system, like we have to be the light. We have to be the examples of how, because like literally, like I mentioned before, COVID has shown me there's no leadership. So it's so in a way that's liberating because it's on us. More, you know, as it always has been. It's always been on us, the people, those of us who can connect and communicate and show the world that there is a better way, because no one not no one, but at least around me, and there's plenty of people around me too. I'm just saying right here right now, you know, we just got to like keep lifting each other up and being examples of how the world could and should be. And I think um kind of turning it not just as an aside, I don't know, like blockchain's a part of that, NFTs are a part of that. I don't know fully how yet, but I see the pieces on the horizon. It might be maybe 3 to 5 years out on certain things, and maybe a year or so on other things. I think the DeFi thing, um, you know, decentralized finance, which again, if you're watching after the fact, thanks everybody here who's hanging out, doing the thing here, watching me on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. But if you're watching, you're not sure what I just said, DeFi, decentralized finance, I'll give it a quick rundown, and maybe David, you can as well. But decentralized finance is a concept that is emerging from blockchain technology to basically replace the banking industry as far as loans, as far as collateralization, or what did they call like when you do a CD? It's like they're comparing CDs and staking, But what is a CD? That's just kind of like
liquidity pools and staking.
Is that? But what does a bank call a liquidity pool? Do they do that? I don't know. I don't have like I don't have like banker friends. But anyway,
the bank works with their own liquidity pools, but it's all like, you know, behind closed doors, and they do their own like money.
Yeah. So the banks,
so
the
that's why
banks
they've
got all
taken basically all those internal bank mechanics and made them, you know, public entities on the blockchain in some sense.
Yeah. You know, again, they're like you're saying, like you're
Yeah.
saying, they're behind closed doors. They're making all the rules, and they hire people to make sure it all runs really good. Well, what the difference is here with DeFi is that we are able to take all those systems and people and hirings and firings and just turn that into code, and it's all run by code, immutable, unchangeable lines of computer code that can handle these things. I'm going to see folks are jumping in chat, and then I'll turn it to you, David. Cooperative work, food production, housing, build for us and educate, right livelihood. The blockchain is our muscle and brains in action. From Pirate Queen Indigo Cat. Barely Femme says the important thing we need to immediately do with blockchain is get the people who are technology poor, who don't have access to the internet, and help them have access to this. Definitely. I'm not even sure how to start with that other than just saying, hey, I'm here, I'm live, come check me out. I don't totally focus on NFT blockchain stuff, but we're here talking about it now. But yeah, there's a friend of mine that I was talking to yesterday who's just been homeless as long as I've known him. I've only known him about 9 years now, but he's a musician. He's worked with Sun Ra. He's worked with George. I'm not the guy for music, y'all. I can draw kind of, but what is his name? George.
Sun Ra is cool, man. I've seen
Sun Ra, but who's the George guy? This other guy, George, that was just as big. Fuck. I'm just like cut in half in my brain for that. But anyway, Ra, fucking love you, Ra. He's out there. And he's trying to get a house right now. And then I'm here trying to get in his ear about blockchain. Like, I feel like anytime I'm talking to him, it's just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life, man? Like, here's somebody that just like, is just really, oh man, it just drives me crazy. Let me see. The important thing, yes, give people access, DeFi, to sell houses and land, insurance, all can be equitable. Love me some blockchain.
Yes. But you know what? David. Internet is actually more accessible than any other technology before, because like if you go to any third world country, like the first thing, a lot of poor people who don't have any other services, they scrap what they can for their pay as they go phone, and they have the internet through that. They're on Facebook, they have stuff. So they are still fairly prolific, but yes, of course, there are definitely still people who don't have access to technology, and that should be made even more available. And I think it's going to be, especially as these monetary options come up. And you look at El Salvador and what they're doing. I think they've implemented a way to make sure like basically everybody has some kind of phone or wallet, digital wallet.
Yeah, so I haven't really kept up with El Salvador. So El Salvador is like totally adopted Bitcoin, right, as a national currency or something, or they recognize it nationally.
Yeah, they recognize it as a national tender.
So, yeah, and Pirate King says, educate yourself and the rest will fall in the line. I mean, that's kind of like, I don't know. I moved to North Carolina to be closer with my family. I don't have a lot of family, but I had a little cousin, and he was like 10 years old, 9 years old when I moved here 10 years ago. And now he's all grown up. But like, even in that time, I was like 20 moving down here and thinking like, oh man, I can't wait to like be here and be with him. But after a while I was like, man, I don't even know who the fuck I am or what the hell I have to offer. And how could I be in his life or understand how to, all I can do is just be around him really. But I don't know. I've just come to the thing like I can't give anybody, I can't give myself. So I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. That's why I'm trying to just learn what I can about this shit. And I did have an abolitionist, the Jailhouse Lawyers Speak organization. Somebody from there who's out there on Twitter and Instagram. They had reached out to me a couple weeks ago, curious about blockchain stuff. So I'm not sure how that's going to pan out. But yeah, man. I mean, it's like we just try to reach people where we can and how we can. Why the fuck is this thing still doing that? Barely Femme says that's a great point, David. Nigeria is figuring it out as well. Yeah, I don't know, man. Hopefully they do. We have some friends in Nigeria, because Pirate Queen, she started our sister city with Nigeria
Nice.
in
Lagos
2006.
Lagos or which city? Which city?
Oshogbo. It's about
Oh,
5 or
wow.
6 hours from Lagos,
Okay.
and it's kind of it has the Oshun Grove, so it's kind of the heart of the traditional religion Ifa, which is kind of the mother of Santeria and Voodoo and all these things. So I've when we first met, she was doing grants out there, and I had the good fortune, amazingly, to go and visit those things through the grant. She had gotten 29 borehole wells in the ground there. That was something the community there picked to have done. And another thing she did is just a couple years after we met, or helped get the grant for, was to renovate some maternity clinics up to World Health Organization standards. So that was just a wall, some paint, tile, electricity, plumbing, basic shit. And so they got that done, and no money was lost. So yeah, we have a lot of love for Nigeria and the folks out there. And yeah, man,
Aren't like some of their politicians are trying to like block blockchain, or like kind of regulate it out.
Twitter.
But then
They already shut down Twitter, man.
Yeah, but I was gonna say they also have amazing artists who have like worked their way around it, and they have some like next level artistic projects coming out of Nigeria right now in the NFT space, including, of course, the Afro Droids, which is just amazing. And they've done a lot of fundraising through their initiative for some schools for children, for girls.
Yeah, I know.
Nigeria.
Clubhouse. I've been in some Nigeria rooms or in Clubhouse and trying to figure out the NFT thing. So, man, it cannot be stopped. It cannot be stopped. This whole technological revolution. Barely Femme says El Salvador is split on the usage of crypto for the reasons I mentioned before. Excuse me. Reasons I mentioned before. There will always be people who are resistant to the change. We've covered a lot of ground as far as the reasons you've mentioned before. I think I lost it. But yeah, yeah. Let's keep solutions close and easy. Let's talk about it. Make it a plan and act. Thank you, Valeria, for being that push.
Way to do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what my plan is.
Even what you're doing right now, Britt, it's good stuff for, every little message, everything you can do is
I appreciate it.
It's all part of the conversation,
I've gotten back, and I haven't been as consistent as I'd like, but we're getting back on that horse for sure. And yeah, man, really excited, about how the tips community just keeps evolving, keeps pushing. I see everybody was kind of hitting it pretty good this week. But yeah, no, man, it's I'm inspired by people like Alex who just jump in there and like, how do we make this work? How do I do? And he's got like the skills to really pull some of that together. But and I was going to say something. Then I saw Michael's comment. Michael, we need to teach everybody human rights, not just the refugees. I think education is more important for people who became smart and know how the world is really work. I also think the brand new world humanity must to refuse all religions. Well, good luck with that, Michael. I wish you the best of luck, my friend.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get rid of all religions. Start coming for people's religion, that's when they get violent, man.
Thanks for coming through, Barely Femme. Appreciate it. Glad you could come through. I'm going to be live Sundays in the evening at 5 Eastern.
Take care, Barely Femme.
And Thursdays at 11 in the morning as well. Teach Europeans what human rights are for POC. That is for sure. Teach
learning. There's a lot of learning to go around, but yeah, definitely. The sooner that all humans can treat each other as humans, I think we'll be better off. Instead of saying, "Oh, you refugees need to do this," or "You white people always do that," and "You black."
I mean, the question is why. The reason the refugees exist is because someone wasn't recognizing human rights somewhere along the line, right? And so they destroyed all their shit and made it so they couldn't even live where they lived.
Yeah.
And now they're in your fucking country, pissing you off when you should be pissed off at the guy that kicked him out, which is probably your fucking guy. Thanks, Barely Femme. Appreciate you. Thanks for the follows or the likes or whatever. Tell your friends that they need to be an abolitionist. And since you are in the U.S., text and the exception to 52886. You can hit the pinned tweet on OneFrog9 as well if you lose all that information, because it happens, man. It happens. See you later. Take care. And many thanks to you for all that. We're hitting the 2-hour mark. David, how much time you got, man?
No, I was going to say I was probably going to cut off soon. So top of the hour, and now we're past the top of the hour. But it's been a very cool conversation. And I'm definitely down to join every Saturday if you want.
Yeah, man, let's do it. Sounds good.
And we'll just try to keep promoting it, get it bigger, and yeah. It's dope. I like it. I like the social justice mark. I like the taking a more clear look at history and trying to learn from it.
Definitely.
And thank you for showing my NFT, and I saw you gave it some hearts. I appreciate that.
Definitely.
You know, I'm just like I said, I did it as a time capsule more so. I'm not going to be out there like, you know, shilling it at all whatsoever. It's the first time I've ever spoken about it anywhere public, so I appreciate it.
Cool, man. Excellent. Yeah, thanks for coming through. I appreciate you doing what you're doing. I got this here up on the screen again for a little bit. But you know, we're artists, we're creators, we're just ready to take on the world, man. I'm here to just document that, at least through this little stream. And I'm sure I'll see you around some Clubhouse goodness.
Totally, man. We'll be in touch. All right. Take care, man. I'm gonna hop off.
Appreciate you, dude. Take care.
All right. Peace out.
Adios. Alrighty, folks. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm going to call it. That's about 2 hours. I'm sure y'all got plenty of stuff to do today. Plenty of goodness to look at. We talked about some goodness. We had Russia. We had Kansas City. We had Canada, Manitoba, Canada here. And I drew a robot. I drew a fat, trash, consuming robot. It's not really fat. It's just kind of chunky. I'm not done with this. I'll probably I want to finish this today since it's just for today. So look for Twitter. Michael, are you on Twitter? God damn it. You better be. Because we're gonna get this straight. But yeah, thanks to everybody that came through. Thanks to David. Thanks to Barely Femme or Cat and Pirate Queen Indigo Cat. And all you guys, even if you just lurked, even if you just a little frog in the pond, I do not mind. I do not mind. Again, catch me on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern, and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, and we'll be here, and we're going to keep talking. We're going to keep creating. I didn't game today, which is fine with me. I'm going to game right now. You guys can't look. Ha ha. How you feel about that? All right. I think that's it. I think that's all I got. I love you guys. I appreciate you all. I want you all to have a lovely life and to just keep the world. Don't let the world get inside the pain, right? Don't do it. That was what I meant to say. Don't let the world get pain inside your brain. Like don't let the world get to you, okay? That's all.